STAT1150 fall 2017. You'll see that, well, let me back up a little bit. The purpose of this video is an introduction video, and I want to go over the syllabus with you. I want to show you how to log into MyMathLab. You need to get a MyMathLab account, access code, so I'm going to talk about that. There's going to be a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about your final exam, your midterm. It kind of all begins on Blackboard, and that's the reason I am where I am. So if I click Blackboard and click it again, you'll see that Shawnee has upgraded their Blackboard program. So you know, these are classes I'm teaching. I'm teaching stuff you don't care about that. What you care about is the class you're taking. So I'm going to click that. Now, a couple of things. When you first get to our Blackboard site for this class, I've deleted a bunch of stuff over here. Most of your attention should come on the content folder. Now, I've also included a MyStatLab link, so if you click that, it's going to take you directly to the login page for MyStatLab. So we don't want that right now. What I want is just our page. So I want to go to content. And guys, you'll already see that has some folders that I've already uploaded. Okay? Now, let's go through and let me just briefly explain what's going on here. Class syllabus and introductory video, that's where you can find the class syllabus. I'll go over that in just a second. And you'll also be able to find the link to this video. Okay? The next thing is MyMathLab. What I've done there is I've given a video for how to get a temporary access code. Some of you may not be sure you're going to stay in the class. Maybe you got to, check Darbro out, see what he's all about. Check out an online class, or maybe financial aid just hasn't come in yet, or maybe you just can't afford to buy it. You can get a temporary access code, and if you want to learn how to do that, click this link, and I'm going to do it. It will take you to a YouTube video that I created that'll go through step-by-step instructions on how to get a temporary access code. Now, I will allow you to get up to 2 temporary access codes. So if you play things smart or be smart with it, you could get almost up to a month if you're waiting on financial aid. Handouts, there's a lot of handouts here that I've put up. I'm going to reference these in the videos to come. Don't worry about this. Somewhere in a future video I will say go to the handout folder on Blackboard and access the handout called box plots, where you'll open that up in a Word document and you can follow along the video when I'm trying to teach you box plots or summarizing categorical data, or more on box plots and histograms, and so on and so forth. The next is some data sets. We use StatCrunch in this class to analyze data, and there are some data sets here that I will have you access in some of the illustrations. And guys, I've already gone ahead week 1 and uploaded. I take it kind of easy on you the first week. There's only one video, and I think it's only like 42 minutes or something. Typically in a week you can expect to get somewhere between 2 and 3 hours of videos that you watch. That's just me teaching the material as if we were taking this class face to face. I don't think it's fair to teach an online class, especially something as challenging as statistics, and just say, hey, you go read the book, you just go figure it out. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think I have an obligation to you to teach you the material, and that's what I do in the material in the videos. So just to give you an idea how this works, you click that. It goes to can't stand listening to myself. Okay, it goes to a video. I would go ahead and make it larger and hit play, and this one's about 42 minutes, as I promised. And I talk about all kinds of different types of data and introduction to data and classifying, storing, and different things. So really that's kind of the way the class works. But in this video, one of the things I want to do is I want to go over the class syllabus. so you know exactly what the expectations are, and other things too. So what I did is I clicked that, it being the syllabus, downloaded. I'm going to click it and open it up. Maybe. And I'm going to go into full screen so you guys, that's not cool. Those things happen. It's just like teaching a class face-to-face. Things happen. Let me make this a little larger. So, all right, guys, this is your syllabus. This is kind of our contract. So, my name's Doug Darbro. I don't really care what you address me as. Dr. Darbro's fine. I don't like being called Mr. Darbro for some reason. I'd rather you call me Doug. Some students coin phrases, triple D, D cubed, different things. So, whatever. Just not Mr. Darbro, okay? Office hours are there. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I'm on campus. I'd love to see you. Stop by and say hello if nothing else. You have my office phone, my email account, which is super, super, super important considering this is an online class, and my office. Now, the reason I go kind of overboard on my office is if you want to stop by and see me, get help, or just say hello, my office is kind of hard to find. So after semester after semester of students saying, well, I tried to come and see you, but I couldn't find your office, I thought I'd give more information here. So let's go in on that and show you where my office is. The easiest way to get to my office is to go into this right front door in Massey Hall, make a right, go down by the dean's office, and if you come down, there's a door right here that a lot of people have never noticed. It's a really small door down from the right door going into Massey. Well, if you're walking down the hallway and you look to your right and you see this door, then right to the left is a door going into the Mass Suites. Well, guys, come in there, ask for me. Everybody knows me. But my office is 113. So we're hard to find. We really are. So, and if you email me and say, Dr. Darbro, I'm trying to find your office, where is it? I'm going to say, well, watch the introductory video because it was explained pretty thoroughly. All right, gang, catalog description. This is just a formal presentation of what I'm going to teach you. GEP requirements. This is the good stuff. You know by now that completing your degree is about checking a bunch of boxes. Get your major, your minor if it applies. And then you've got these general education program requirements. Good news, when you complete this course successfully, you can check that box for the quantitative reasoning component of the GEP. ADA statement, this is not as critical as it is in a face-to-face class because you take your exams online and stuff. But guys, if there's if you're entitled to any accommodations by ADA, let me know and I will do everything in my power to make sure that those are provided to you. With an online class, I don't know if there's really a need for a note taker because you can watch these videos, you can stop them, you can pause them, you can watch them 2 or 3 times. There's so many things that where an online class is advantageous. Computer access. This is kind of a duh statement. This is an online course, therefore you're required to have regular access to a computer. And you must have reliable internet service. I think that kind of goes without saying, but I put it in here anyway. Technology. Usually when I teach this class, or when I've taught it, and I think my running total of teaching this class is over 100 right now. I've been teaching it since 1998. So what is that? My mental math is correct. That's 19 years I've been teaching this class. Again, over 100 times. I've usually required either R or a graphing calculator. R is free, but R is code. So you have to enter programming code. Graphing calculators are expensive. So I'm not requiring either one of those. What I'm requiring is called STAT Crunch. STAT Crunch is included in your MyMathLab activation, your access. So that's the way that we'll crunch all of our data analyze all of our data in this class. Remind, guys. I think this is awesome. This is something that I want you to do. In fact, I almost required it, and I am sort of leaning toward requiring Remind. I kind of got turned on to Remind because my daughter's volleyball coach used it, and it's a really cool texting program where you sign up for it. I never see your number. The number that I see from you is like, some randomly generated number, and the number you see from me is not my number. I'm not really tore up about that. If you want my phone number, just ask me. I'll give it to you, and you can text me. But some professors don't like that. But anyway, Remind is a great way for me to just shoot you a text with reminders. Hey, you got an assignment due tonight at 11 o'clock. Make sure you get that thing turned in on time. Exams coming up this week. I'm in my office. If you need me, come stop by. So, all kinds of things that I will just shoot you text from time to time with updates about the class. Extremely critical in an online class, right? So, you guys, you are strongly, and in fact, I almost required it. And in kind of a way, I am requiring it, but not really, okay? But I really want you to do this. So guys, if you have a smartphone, you can join the class by texting at STAT1150S to the number 81010. If you don't have a smartphone, you can get my text via email. So just send a text to this email account. Leave the subject line blank. You don't need to put anything in the body. And then when I send out a text as a reminder, you'll get that on your email account. Email this from whatever email account you usually check. It doesn't have to be your Shawnee account. All right, gang, the online course management system, I use MyStatLab. Now, MyStatLab, MyMathLab, it's all part of what we call MyLab platform. It's kind of MyStatLab for this class because, well, we're a statistics class, right? The book that I use is Essential Statistics. It's by Gould, Ryan, and Wong. All of your exams and assignments are taken on MyMathLab or MyStatLab. To access MyMathLab, you go to mymathlab.com. The first thing it's going to ask you is to enter a course ID. Guys, your all's course ID is Darbro 37207. Now, how do you get this? Well, there's two ways that you can get the access code, not the course code. The course code's right here. The access code gives you access to the program. Your assignments, your exams, StatCrunch. The way you get access to MyMathLab, one way is to go to our bookstore and buy the activation code. And I think they're selling it over there for about $90. I'm not sure, but that's what they told me it would be. Usually when they tell me something, it turns out it's a little bit higher. Or if you got a valid credit card, you can go directly to MyMathLab and buy activation for about $15 cheaper. So it's up to you. You can go directly to MyMathLab, get the activation there. And when you do, remember guys, let me get out of this, go back here. If you go back to content, under MyMathLab, I give you the instructions here on how to go through student registration. Okay? How to sign in, so on and so forth. Well, let's get this going. Okay, guys, again, you don't come up the first assignment and say, well, Dr. Darbro, I couldn't get my first assignment in because I'm waiting on financial aid. Guys, you get a 14-day free trial course access option. And if you need a second one, 28 days, then you'll have to use a different email account, but I'll let you do that and I'll merge all your scores in the end. I'm not going to let you do any more than 2 free trials. So 28 days is the most, because I don't think that's fair to Pearson and the people who create this program. Guys, the grade, this is something I don't like about MyStatLab. Sometimes it does wacky things behind the scenes in terms of weighting For example, last semester I noticed that it had the midterm exam weighted less than one of the regular assignments. Well, that's pretty goofy because your midterm is pretty big. In fact, it'll be 35% of your total grade. So there was a delay there about a day, day and a half, where I didn't notice it. And then when I went in and corrected it, some students' scores went down. And I got emails like, Dr. Darber, I haven't done anything. Why did it go down? And I'm like, well, my stat lab had it set incorrectly. And they didn't like that. But, it just needed to be corrected. It was wrong to begin with. It's funny, though. I didn't hear from any of the students whose grade went up. But that's okay. All right, gang, MyMathLab assignments. Here's the way things work in this class. If I'm putting you to sleep, wake up, because this is important. What happens is videos and resources are typically posted on Blackboard by a Monday at 5 p.m., if not earlier. Now, I'm a little early on week 1. In fact, I'm quite a bit early. So what happens is I get the videos and resources posted on Blackboard by Monday at 5 p.m. Your assignments are due on Tuesdays unless otherwise announced. And you can look down through here and see there's only one that's due not on Tuesday. And I'll explain that in just a second. So they're all due on Tuesday, 11 p.m. You might say, no, wait a minute, that's not, you got like 3 hours of videos and I got to do all that in a day? No, you don't. This is the previous Monday, the prior Monday. So this is, the videos and resources are posted Monday at 5 p.m. Then you have the rest of the day Monday, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, Tuesday up to 11 p.m. to watch all the videos and get the assignment submitted. So the content, resources, videos for this first assignment, which is due on August the 29th, would typically be uploaded to Blackboard on Monday, August the 21st, 8 days earlier. So guys, you got 8 days to do your assignments, okay? So I don't want any of this stuff, I didn't have time. Yeah, you did have time. You just didn't manage your time correctly. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm just the kind of professor that'll call you out on it. You got what, 8.5 days? You can start early. But if you choose to start late and you get, some of the assignments are harder than others, then that's just a choice that you made. One thing right here, assignment number 10 is due on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. The reason is Tuesday, October 31st is Halloween. And I know some of you may have children and you need to take them out on trick-or-treating. So I didn't think it was really cool to make an assignment due on Halloween. So I'm giving you one extra day. So the resources and stuff here for assignment number 10 will actually be submitted or uploaded to Blackboard 9 days before it's actually due. You can see you have a midterm on Wednesday, October the 11th. More about that in just a second. You'll see final exam is going to be on Wednesday, December the 13th. Now, some notes. Note number 1, a 50% penalty will be assessed for work that is submitted after the due date. The penalty only applies to the questions that are submitted late. So let's say, for example, that you submitted 90% of your assignment and you got everything right. So you're sitting there with the 90%, but you've got one problem. Let's say it's worth 10 points that you didn't get to submit on time. Well, if you get that 10-point question correct, you'll only get 5 points out of that, but you'll get a 95 on the total assignment. So the late penalty is only on work that is submitted after the due date. Note number 2, you're not permitted to submit assignments 1 through 7 after taking your midterm. So back up here, you'll see assignments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are to get you ready for the midterm. Once you take the midterm, I close all these assignments down and you can't submit them anymore. Same thing with assignments 8 through 16. Once you take your final exam, all assignments for the semester, for the class, will be closed. And note number 3, I'm just telling you about assignment number 10, giving an extra day due to Halloween. All right, supplemental instructor. My graduate assistant, Jacob Staritsky, is the supplemental instruction leader. We have conveniently decided that his sessions will be on Tuesdays from 5 to 9. Why? Well, a lot of you are going to need help just before you submit your assignments. Now, let's say you're someone who likes to work early. Well, come see me. I'm just telling you that the supplemental instruction leader, again, Jacob is a graduate student here and pursuing his master's in mathematics. He's actually teaching this class also, and he's watched all of my videos, so he knows exactly the way I'm teaching you the material. He is available on Tuesdays from 5 to 9 in the Math Lab to help you with your assignments. All right, this is the weird part. It's not really weird. It's actually, but I don't know. It seems like there's confusion here, and I don't really understand why. Okay, so anyway, dates for Exam 1 and Exam 2. So dates for your midterm and dates for your final. Both of your exams are online. You can take these wherever you want to take them. If you feel more comfortable using the computers here on campus, then by all means come to campus and take your exam. If you feel better taking your laptop up on a mountain somewhere where you have reliable internet service, of course, and take your exam up there, then go climb a mountain, wherever you feel most comfortable. But you have a 2-hour time block for each exam on these days. So let's say, for example, now let me start down here at the bottom. You can start at 12:01 a.m., in which case you would have until 2:01, 2 hours, 2:01 a.m. to complete your exam. Or you can start as late as 9:59 p.m., in which case you'll have to be done by 11:59 p.m. So you get 2 hours. So you need to specify a 2-hour time block by sending me an email and let me know on Wednesday, October the 11th, when you want to take your exam. The thing about online courses is people have a lot of different schedules, so I have to allow flexibility. So some of you work, some of you don't. Some of you work nights, some of you work days. Some of you work mornings, some of you work afternoons. Some have classes, night classes, some don't. Some have kids that are in soccer, lacrosse, and everything else like me. Some don't. So to allow flexibility, you have to specify a 2-hour time block. So you'll send me an email and say, Dr. Darbro, and I want to take my midterm exam from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'll go into MyMathLab. I will set up your exam to where it will be available from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So you can submit your exam. Same thing for exam number 2, your final exam. The only difference, it's taken Wednesday, December the 13th instead of Wednesday, October the 11th. Same thing. Send me an email a couple of days ahead. Say, Dr. Darbro, I need to take it from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'll clear you to take it from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Maybe you're a morning person. Well, I want to take it at 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. All right, I'll clear you to take it 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay, so anyway, if you have any questions, stop by and we'll talk more about that. But I really don't see how you can have questions. So when you're taking the exam, it's unproctored. You can use your notes. I strongly encourage you to keep a notebook to get organized, because what happens is you watch these videos and then you go to MyMathLab and you try to to practice and submit for a grade the things that I've tried to teach you in the videos. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember something like that, but I don't remember what video it was in. Well, if you got a notebook and you keep it organized, it's very, very, very helpful. Now, if you're entitled to extra testing time through ADA, then you must take your exam in the Student Success Center. So the maximum time for any unproctored exam is 2 hours. If you need more, then you need to take your exam in the Student Success Center. And just let me know, and let me know a couple days ahead so I can make plans. Okay, guys, if you fail, I'll tell you what happened. This class is really good for some people, most people. But some of you just won't have the self-discipline to take an online class, because you can watch the videos when you want. You submit your assignment within an 8-day period. Some of you will just forget the class, and I had a student a couple of years ago that was taking my online class, and she just didn't take her exam. She just forgot. She wasn't staying in touch with the class because it was online. She should never have taken an online class, and I told her that, and she agreed. But if I don't hear from you on the 2-hour time block, and you just kind of no-brain it and completely miss exam number 1, you're getting a 0. Well, I'm not going to come up. You're not going to come up and contact me like 2 weeks later and say, "Oh man, I forgot to take that exam," and I'm going to be like, "Man, I'm really, really sorry, but not much I can do." So, guys, requirements. What do you need to be successful in this class? You're going to have to allot about 2 to 3 hours per week to watch videos, my lectures. You need to submit your assignments on time. You really need to sign up for Remind or check your email daily. Okay? Calculating your final grade. Exam 1's 35%. Exam 2, again, this is your midterm. This is your final. Those are 35% each. And then your MyMathLab assignments and sneaky quizzes. Uh-oh, what's up with that? I'll tell you that in just a second. Now, down here the note, if you submit all assignments by the due date and you score higher on exam 2 than exam 1, so if you score higher on your final exam than you do your midterm, I will replace your exam 1 score with your exam 2 score. Let me give you an example of how this helped. This was actually in a face-to-face class, and I had a girl in class. Her name was Tracy, and she bombed the first exam. She got 28, and she came to my office in tears, and she's like, "Dr. Darby, you gotta understand, I am not a 28 student. I'm a good student, and she was. Her GPA was I don't remember, it was high 3s. But she said that's just not who I am. I just don't know what happened on the exam. I just flipped out and had a bad day. Well, I told her, I said, "Hey, you got this option. If your final exam, and for the face-to-face class, the criteria was you could only have 2 absences, no more than 2 absences. So I told her, if you don't have any more than 2 absences, then you can replace your final exam, or I'm sorry, your midterm with your final exam." She scored 92 on the final exam because she had missed many classes. Instead of having a 28 and a 92, she had a 92 and a 92. So she ended up with an A in the class, which she deserved. All right, sneaky quizzes. Here's what I do. Instead of having an attendance criteria for this policy, replacing the lower score with the higher score, and you can only replace exam 1 with exam 2, not vice versa. I embed 5 or 6 25-point quizzes in videos. I sneak them in the videos throughout the semester. So if you're not watching the videos, then you're not submitting the quizzes. So, and that's something I do. I go back at the very end of the class, and if somebody's sitting there and they only need half a point, maybe a point to get the higher score, I go back and look at the sneaky quizzes. Were these people trying? Did they watch the videos? If you did, I'm going to give you the extra points, make you and bump you up to the next score. But if I look through there and you only submitted like 5 of 6 or 1 of 6 of them, then you're not getting the extra points, because that shows me you didn't do your part. You didn't watch my videos when I was trying to teach you the material. So sneaky quizzes are embedded in the videos. They're not mathematical. I'll tell you what I did once about a year ago. I was teaching, and I just kind of shoot from the hip when I'm teaching. And I said something like, "Yeehaw, Jester's dead," with no plan. I thought, okay, who knows what that video's from? And I'll tell you what, here's a quiz, 25-point quiz. Submit it by the time your next assignment's due. Send me an email and tell me what movie Yeehaw, Jester's Dead came from. Well, we know it's Top Gun, and if you don't know it's Top Gun, you could Google it. So don't give me that stuff that you don't watch movies. Well, get on Google. You can Google anything. So and the people who submitted got 25 out of 25. The people who didn't submit it got 0 out of 25. So it's just things like that. Sneaky quizzes aren't mathematical usually. And they could be, but if they are, I'll give you the answer. All right. Darbo's grading scale, nothing fancy there. To pass the class, all you got to do is get 50% or higher. So, speaking of sneaky quiz, sneaky quiz 0, send an email to me by Tuesday, August 29th at 11 p.m. It's a 25-point quiz. You'll either get 25 or 0. If you respond, you get 25. If you don't respond, you get 0. But send an email to me at ddarbro@shawnee.edu with the following 4 pieces of information. Your name, preferred email address. Number 2, tell me something interesting about you. Number 3, type this. I understand the class policies and the instructor's expectations as explained in the introductory video. And number 4, type all this stuff. If I were you, I'd just copy and paste it. Okay? You do that by August 29th, Tuesday at 11 p.m. You get the easiest 25 points you could ever imagine getting in a statistics class. All right, gang, that's about it. Let me get out of here and show you a little bit about MyMathLab, how that works. So you're ready. You've watched your videos. So you go to Content. You access the videos for this week. You click it. You watch it. You take notes. You put it in your notebook. You're done. It's time to do your assignment. You click this. You sign in. And of course, this is after of course, signing up for the activation. And okay, so you guys, what's going on here? Stat 1150 fall 2017. All right, cool. So let's click this. Because I don't know what's going on. My stat lab is acting really weird. All right, I'm going to have to work on this. It looks like that link isn't working for some reason from Blackboard. So guys, I'm just going to get out of Blackboard and I'm just going to go directly to the site. Yeah, there we go. Now STAT1150, and I'll get into my site. I'm not sure why that link didn't work. Now, when you get to my stat lab, there's all sorts of cool stuff there. First of all, you've got under chapter contents, you've got the chapters of the book, you've got the e-text. So if you like reading textbooks, then you can go there. Otherwise, if you don't like reading statistics textbooks, then just watch all my videos and you don't need to read anything. StatCrunch is the statistical software package that we use. I'll put up a video a little later on it, but just to give you a preview, just click it. Let's just go StatCrunch website. And we can just go right here to type in some data. So maybe 1, 3, 6, 7. So we got our data. And I'm going to teach you all kinds of cool stuff. I'm going through it very quickly because I go through it much more slowly in a future video. So means and variance and standard deviation, all these cool things here that I'm going to teach you all about. Very easily, this statistical software package finds it. But right now, what I want to focus on is your assignments, okay? So, although there's a lot of stuff going on here, the 2 things that well, actually 3 things, including the link to StatCrunch, the 2 things that you're going to be most interested in are assignments and gradebook. Gradebook is where you go find your grade. Well, we don't have any results yet, so there's no grade showing. Assignments is where you access your assignments. So you can see that I've already uploaded assignment number 1, It is due the 29th at 11. This is a Tuesday. It's due August 29th at 11 p.m., just like I told you. So to start this assignment, I click it. There are 16 questions. You see the value of each. I would start at question number 1. You start at wherever you want to start. And it says 2 drugs, and you're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, that's what the videos are for. I taught this problem in the videos. So type in, some of it's dropped down, check your answer. You get as many tries as you want for these problems. So if you're persistent, you can sit there and do them over and over and over until you get them correct. All right. Once let's say something happens, you've got to leave. Save, come back and whenever, and log back in and start your assignment from where you ended up. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I can't really think of much else right now. I don't know why this wasn't working through the direct link on Blackboard, but I'll try to figure that out. So if it doesn't work for you either, then just go into your browser and type it in. Now, a couple of things about my StatLab. There are 2 browsers that work best, and that is Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. You can see that I'm using Google Chrome. I think it works even better than Mozilla Firefox. If you want to drive yourself insane, use Internet Explorer or Safari. I don't know why, but MyMathLab, the MyLab platforms just do not work well with Safari or Internet Explorer. So again, Google Chrome is the one I prefer. I doubt there's anyone at Shawnee State University who has used MyMathLab more over the past 10 or so years than me, and I've found it to be the most consistent and stable browser. But Mozilla Firefox also works. So guys, I'm done. I'm looking forward to having a great semester with you guys. I think you're going to like the online format just because of the flexibility that it provides to you in terms of watching the video. And I'll tell you guys, if you're a slacker, if you're someone that needs to, a professor to kick you in the butt from time to time, get you to come to class, you might want to drop this class because you've got to be a self-starter. You've got to be self-disciplined, to create your schedule and stay on track with it. And so you need to make that decision. So guys, I'm done. Have a great one.